I found out at my retirement party that every person in that room had been covering for me for years, and I had spent my entire career thinking I was the one holding everything together. Davis from accounting was 3 drinks in when he said it, not maliciously, that's the thing. He said it the way people say true things when the occasion feels safe enough. Arm around my shoulder, genuinely warm, telling me I was going to be missed. And then he said, honestly, we spent half our time making sure your mistakes never made it upstairs and laughed like it was a fond memory. The room didn't go quiet. Nobody else heard it. Davis moved on to someone else and the party continued, and I stood there holding a glass of champagne at my own retirement celebration, completely rearranged. I had run that department for 22 years. Came in early, stayed late, prided myself on standards that I believed were the reason we never had a major failure on my watch. I had told that story about myself so many times, to colleagues, to my wife, to my kids when they needed an example of what showing up looked like, that I had stopped examining whether it was true. I found Sarah from my team near the food table an hour later. Sarah had been with me for 14 years, sharp and steady, someone I trusted completely. I told her what Davis said and watched her face carefully. She didn't look surprised. She chose her words slowly, said that the team loved working for me and meant it, said I had created a culture where people genuinely wanted to show up. And then she said that part of that culture had become protecting me, that I had blind spots everyone could see, and over the years it had become automatic to quietly route around them before they became problems. I asked her to give me an example. She gave me 4. I drove home from my own retirement party and sat in my car in the driveway for a long time. 22 years. A story I had told about myself that was real but incomplete, built on a foundation I hadn't known existed, maintained by people I had never properly seen. My wife found me still in the driveway 40 minutes later and knocked on the window. I told her everything Davis said, everything Sarah said, all of it. She listened and then said something that has stayed with me since. She said every person in that room showed up for you for 22 years. That's not a humiliation. That's a life people chose to be part of. I thought about that differently after she said it, not as an indictment of who I was, but as something I had genuinely never understood. That the people around me had been an active choice, not a backdrop, that they had given me something I had accepted without fully receiving. I called Sarah the next morning and thanked her, not for covering for me, for telling me the truth at a retirement party when she had every reason not to. She said she had been waiting 14 years for the right moment. I wished I had made the moment sooner. I spent 22 years thinking I was the one holding everything together. Turns out I was the one being held.